What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo. We're back with some more Punishing Grey Raven, and today we're going to talk about the differences between two tanks in this game, being A. Kamoy and B. Nanami. Two very, very good characters that you can use as a support, especially when you're trying to do like one-shots in the game. Now, I've explained all the mechanics of one-shots, the memories that you got to use, and all of that, but I just want to kind of focus on Nanami and A. Kamoy because these two really are amazing, and I do think they have niche places where they're actually going to be better than other times. So for example, Binomial here, she's at level 64 and I do have her weapon here. Now the thing about her is this weapon is actually pretty nice because it can, decrease the defenses of the enemy, and it can actually cut into the armor, which is pretty nice, right? Break that shield, and it allows you to do a lot more damage on top of the fact that she does have these blue orbs that actually decrease the physical resistance. This is one of the reasons why Nanami is so good, especially for one-shots, because especially as you level this up, the higher percentage you have of the physical defense down, the more physical damage is going to go up whenever you're using a character like Alpha or you're using a character like Esli. I mean, their damage is going to skyrocket because the physical resistance is lowered to the enemy. And this is a big reason. But here's the thing about Binomial. Whenever she does her QTE skill, now we're going to be back up here. Whenever she does her QTE, she does knock down the opponent. She knocks them down, but there is no form of CC. However, when you start getting into a character like Kamoy, A. Kamoy here, this guy is actually pretty amazing. Now, I'm just using this weapon right here. Unfortunately, that, critically, it's not really helping as far as what we're trying to do today. But his QTE is helping quite a bit because Kamoy's QTE is actually quite nice because it can actually reduce the physical resistance, but it's only by 8.82%, so it's not near as high as Nanami, and that's a big advantage that Binomial has. However, whenever you're playing with Binomial, you got to bring her in there. You got to get the orbs. You got to have orbs available, those blue orbs available. Use those orbs, then switch to your next character, be able to go into your skills, go into your other orbs, or, well, in Alpha's case, go into her sword wave, and then start applying a bunch of damage while both of your QTE characters are coming in at the same time, applying all of those debuffs. And the thing about Kamoy is he's actually a lot easier to play with whenever you're doing this because, one, you're not bringing him in trying to, get certain orbs. You don't have to worry about that RNG as far as what orbs are actually coming in. And also, he stuns the target for 3 seconds. Now, the reason that this is so important is because having that CC, especially for one-shots, is actually very, very powerful. And I'm going to show you guys two different runs. I'll show you a little Chaos run using Nanami. You see the score I got here, and I'll let it be a surprise when I get on Hell. It isn't as good as what it could be. It could be better. I just need to level up my characters, maybe get a little bit better run. But this run here will be with Binomial. But the thing about this guy right here, Roseblade here, or Roland likes to move around a lot. When he gets down to a certain amount of HP, he starts moving around, and this is where that stun comes into play. And yes, you're going to do more damage with Binomial, especially if you apply those blue orbs, for sure. But whenever you knock back Roland here, he just gets up and starts moving around all over the place. So say you apply all of your debuffs, right? You go into your sword waves, and you're trying to land all of your sword waves on the opponent. Well, or in Roland, or on Roland in our case. Well, then what's going to happen is he's just going to move out of the way, and your sword waves are just going to miss. And you lose tons and tons of damage. I've actually played this for the last couple hours with Binomial, and then I just started doing it with A. Kamoy, and I was like, oh my god, this is a lot easier. For one, I'm not worrying about any orbs coming out, so I don't have to worry about that RNG factor. And whenever I bring in Kamoy for my QTE, it's a lot easier for me to focus on proccing the Frederick set for Alpha, because whenever you do 3 dodges is when you're going to get the most out of that set. And it's just a lot easier when you have the stun effect because that stun's going to last for 3 seconds. So I'll go ahead and pull up the run for you guys right here as far as the one with Binomial. Go ahead, cue this thing up here a little bit. And on this level, it's all good. For Chaos, it's not bad, right? Binomial works pretty good because you're going to do enough damage to where you can actually melt Roland fast enough to where he doesn't move around. So having that CC isn't a big deal here, big deal here. But if you are playing with, say, a physical damage dealing character that is not really, doing enough damage, maybe having Kamoy would be better because you get that form of CC. And I'll show you that in the next run, right? But, unfortunately, because my character isn't level 80, she doesn't have her ultimate unlocked, which means she gets 3 extra orbs when you start off the fight. I gotta do this whole method where you build up your orbs, switch to your next character, switch to your next character, then switch back to Alpha, do 3 dodges, apply our debuffs, and then apply the sword wave as we're doing right now. And then we can just do a complete one-shot like what you just saw, right? And murder them. Now, I probably could do better than this. I mean, maybe I could get a better run, but I'm not going to stress over 1,000 points here or there. I'm just not going to stress over it. And the next run that I'm going to show you was the best run that I've done so far. And I didn't keep it, as you all can see. I did go to hell, and I didn't keep my score at all. So I'll go ahead and bring up the run that I did with Kamoy and just show you what I was capable of doing. Even though we weren't applying any of those blue orbs to get that physical resistance down, we're still going to be able to do a one-shot on hell mode, at least with my build on my alpha. Okay, so bring this sucker up. Let's check it out. Now, this is pretty awesome because this guy, I mean, again, he just jumps around all over the damn place, and it pisses you off. Like, I got a nice little good orb set up right now already for alpha. We're going to build up our orbs a little bit here. Just keep building them up, keep building them up, keep building them up. That way we can have a lot of burst damage whenever we do the sword waves. And we'll move out of the way here. We'll go ahead and hit him a few more times, try to build a few more sword or orbs. We'll switch to live, and then we're just going to do the old switcheroo to Kamoy here. There we go. Well, after we do a little damage with live. And then Kamoy, we're just going to try to, you know, do a little damage here, go into the matrix, and we're just going to wait. When alpha's ready to go, we just bring her back in, and we dodge. There, I kind of messed up there. I got hit there. Dodge. There's 2 dodges there. And see, this was not optimal at all, and that's why I didn't keep the run. That's why I didn't save it, because you know, you only have a 4-second period as far as that Frederick set is proccing, and I actually missed a little bit of that proc. We could have done even better if I would have played a little bit better, if I wouldn't have got hit right away, but I was able to get 174,000 in this run. And I'm telling you, when I was using Binomial in this, I was having a lot of problems because Roland just kept jumping around all over the place. So I'd have to go into my skills again, build up my orbs again, or just do some damage with B-Lid, then do some damage with Kamoy, then come back in, do some damage with Alpha. And my score wasn't near as good. I mean, with Binomial, I was getting around 165,000. And you just saw about almost 175,000 run using my A Kamoy, right? So, I mean, in my opinion, at least for this specific boss, and Roland's really awesome for alpha because you get an increase to your physical damage whenever you face this guy. So, I mean, you know, having your physical damage dealer is really great against Roland. And the reason I wanted to make this video is to show you all that, you know, maybe you might want to use a Kamoy just to have that 3-second stun, just to go ahead and lock Roland down in place. That way you can do an insane amount of damage. And I guarantee you, once you level up, as you all just saw in Hell Mode, once you get your alpha leveled up and you get your characters leveled up, right, you're going to be able to do those one-shots easily with a Kamoy rather than Binomial. Now, I do think Binomial is going to be better, like, for your single targets like Vasigo here. I mean, she's going to be better for those kinds of targets because they don't move around all over the place. Same with Iron Maiden. I mean, well, Iron Maiden's dark damage increased, but they just don't move around. So if you're trying to do one-shots and you got Binomial on the team for your physical damage, then, you know, you're going to be better to have Binomial. But as far as the character that runs around all over the place, like Roland, especially when you're trying to do all that burst damage with someone like Alpha, it's really nice having that stun. So this is something that I just wanted to bring to light to all of you, just kind of show you that, you know, even though Binomial is awesome, she really is a godsend, especially for a single target that doesn't move around. Whenever it comes to Pain Cage and you're facing someone like Roland, specifically Roland, I think maybe you might be better off using a Kamoy just for the stun, but I mean, it is a matter of opinion as far as, you know, what you think is actually better. I just like the fact that you don't have to deal with as much RNG with Kamoy. You don't have to worry about any orbs popping out on them or the right orbs popping out on them. You can just easily switch to Alpha afterwards, get in your couple dodges, and then, you know, use a blue orb, go into your matrix, whatever. You know, you gotta do 3 dodges, and then you can actually get that proc, that Frederick proc, to actually set itself. And if you run with the patent set, you don't even have to worry about setting the proc, right? Because you're always going to have that extra physical damage from the patent set if that is what you're using. But you're definitely going to have more burst damage with the Frederick set. I can promise you that. So let me know which tank you actually prefer if you're trying to do those kind of one-shots. I mean, do you prefer Binomial or do you prefer a Kamoy? And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT plus 7 time. The link will be in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See ya.
私も行くね。みんなを守る。さっき私足引っ張ってませんよね。